Wysteria, energy, twister. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and Filipina ghost stories. This one's called Tonight's Fair. Like the iconic jeepney, Filipino tricycles are a common mode of transportation throughout the country, best described as a heavily decorated motorcycle with a roofed sidecar. It can be found in both rural and urban settings, meant as a cheap and convenient alternative to distances that are too far to walk, but not so far as needing a car. Filling the sidecar with passengers can be challenging, sometimes reverting to seating the extra passenger just behind the driver. Mr. Gus was one such driver, either waiting at the tricycle station or doing his rounds around the neighbourhood to pick up needy passengers. Fares came in less and less as the evening progressed, usually as the daily night market began closing down. But, needing extra cash, he decided to circle his barrio one more time for a chance a passenger may need. He saw a woman in the distance, nearly obscure against the dim houses behind her, and waving her arms to catch his attention. Mr. Gus promptly drove up and parked his tricycle in front of her. "Where are you going?" he asked, routinely. "On the other side of town," she said. "Just go, and I will tell you where to turn." He glanced at her casually from the corner of his eye as they drove off, noticing she was dressed in all black. "You're out a little late," he said, raising his voice above the loud engine. She kept her gaze forward and didn't respond. He had driven her to the far side of town, but still wasn't sure where they were going. "Where did you say you lived again?" he asked. "Just follow the road and I will tell you where to turn." They reached the outskirts of town, with little lighting and even less houses to be guided by. His patience was wearing thin. "Here," she finally said, pointing to a dim house virtually in the middle of nowhere. "I live here." Mr. Gus parked his tricycle to the side of the road and left it idling as the woman exited the sidecar. "That will be 10 pesos," he said with a forced smile. He thought of charging her extra for making him drive to seemingly nowhere. The woman extended her hand and produced 2 coins. But then the coins mysteriously flew out of her palms and struck him in his eyes. Recovering quickly, if painfully, he squinted his eyes to stare at the woman, who apparently tried to blind him. But she disappeared, and there were no structures around where she could have hidden. Mr. Gus nervously drove away. He didn't bother to look back, frightened at who or what his fare truly was. The end. You know, we have some similar stories like that in the UK, but they are more hitchhikers. So we have phantom hitchhikers that stop a car and, they get in the back of the car and the person is happily driving them to where they live. And by the time they get there, the phantom has gone. There's no one there. Or midway through driving, the phantom just disappears. But generally it's a person and they're generally not mean. They don't throw things at people. Anyway, thank you for listening and many blessings. Wysteria, energy, twister.